Welcome back. It's 10:19. There are Pride events held across the country every year. They're events that aim to bring together gay, straight, bisexual, and transgender people.
And this summer, a local alternative newspaper decided to run a front page story about Pride Fest in Bismarck and Mandan.
And that's just where our story begins.
There was a Pride Fest, and we decided that we would talk about that on our front page.
Don Morrison felt the story deserved front page attention, so he ran it front and center in the alternative community newspaper.
We talked about the really interesting entertainment and the kinds of things that was going on at the Pride Fest.
The reaction?
For the most part, it was quite positive.
Morrison says there were some unpleasant surprises as well.
We had some phone calls from people. One woman said it was just disgusting, and how could we talk like this?
Morrison says a couple advertisers pulled out. And this.
I actually had somebody who was passing through Bismarck call and say he was a minister of a church, and was saying that anybody who printed things like this, and he used rather harsh language, wasn't a real Christian.
Ron Hildahl is gay and lives in Mandan with his partner Dan Tokash. Ron says even though this area is seen by many as conservative, he thinks Bismarck is relatively open-minded.
I think for those who are bold enough to be themselves and to be out, that they find no conflict.
If no conflict exists, then why the reaction to the front page story? Is it hatred or is it fear?
Well, sometimes the basis of fear is lack of understanding, lack of familiarity, avoidance. We don't get a clear picture of what something is about because we've avoided it. And thus, their stereotypes continue to exist as a result of that.
Dan Tokash says it's the media sensationalizing that feeds into the stereotype, which is why articles like the one published in Prairie Independent are so important.
I think the media, a lot of the media portrays gay people as drag queens and swishy and whatnot. But the fact is I would say 95% of gay people are probably as normal as anybody else.
Don Morrison, the publisher of Prairie Independent, stressed that while those who did speak out were very vocal against the decision to run the story, the majority of the reactions, again, were very positive.
All right, stay with us. Coming up next in sports.